All right, let's dive right into this explainer and tackle the ultimate internet fantasy. You know the one. You've seen the gurus, right? The suspiciously rented Lamborghinis, the absolutely wild income claims. But we have to ask, can you actually become a millionaire in just 5 months? Like, is this a grounded reality or just a total pipe dream being pushed by online marketers trying to sell you a course? Well, welcome to today's explainer. We're going to cut straight through all that noise. We're breaking down the actual reality behind 7 legitimate paths, call them blueprints if you will, that people have actually used to build massive wealth incredibly fast. We're digging right into the true mechanics of rapid wealth creation, pulling directly from our source material. We'll synthesize these 7 blueprints into 5 core categories for you. We'll start with the myth versus reality, move into selling services and attention, then building scalable products, followed by scaling and investing, and finally, we'll cap it all off with a brilliantly effective combination strategy. Let's get right to it. Section 1. The myth versus reality. Let's start with the hard truth about this whole 5-month timeline. Look, extreme wealth absolutely has been built rapidly throughout history. Just think about overnight viral brands or those massive tech acquisitions. But it is exceptionally difficult for the average person. Generating wealth at that kind of velocity, it requires a really potent, rare mix of high-level skill, flawless execution, perfect market timing, and, let's be honest, sometimes a healthy dose of sheer luck. It's about elite execution, not some guaranteed secret trick. That being said, people do achieve it. So let's look at our first blueprint. Section 2. Selling services and attention. You know what's really fascinating about this first category? It requires almost zero upfront capital to start. So blueprint number 1 is building a high-ticket service business. We're talking specialized marketing, lead generation, implementing AI tools, or doing high-level consulting. Basically, you are solving one very expensive problem for other businesses. By focusing strictly on B2B, business to business, you're tapping into massive, already existing budgets. You completely bypass the headache of physical products or messy inventory. Instead, you're just selling your high-value expertise directly to companies that are desperately looking for a return on their investment. Let's break down the math on why this works so incredibly fast. Say you land just 10 clients, right? And you charge them $5,000 a month each for your service. Boom, you've just rapidly scaled your cash flow to 50 grand a month. But here is the real hidden wealth multiplier. Over a few months of consistent revenue, you're not just generating cash, you're actually turning the agency itself into a highly valuable sellable asset. Private equity firms or larger agencies might scoop up that cash flow for hundreds of thousands of dollars. You are literally building wealth twice. Which brings us to blueprint number 4, building a personal brand and monetizing attention. This actually perfectly complements that service model we just talked about. Look, attention is arguably the most profitable currency on the internet today, period. Once you build a dedicated audience around your specific expertise, you unlock these highly lucrative revenue streams. We're talking ad revenue, brand sponsorships, affiliate marketing, or even selling your own digital courses. You are essentially minting money from the trust you've managed to build at scale. And this perfectly showcases the extreme asymmetric leverage of the modern creator economy. Seriously, a single viral video can completely change the trajectory of a business overnight. Just one piece of well-timed, highly relevant content can reach millions of people, entirely for free. And honestly, that's exactly why smart entrepreneurs today are so heavily focused on building a media audience at the exact same time they're building their core company. The leverage is just way too massive to ignore. Moving on to Section 3, building scalable products. So eventually, entrepreneurs often shift gears. They go from selling their time or attention to selling highly scalable products. And we've got 2 incredibly powerful blueprints here. Blueprint 2 is software and AI. Now, the massive advantage here is the marginal cost of replication. Think about it. You write the code once and you can sell it 1,000,000 times with almost zero extra manufacturing costs. It's brilliant. On the flip side, we have Blueprint 3, which is viral e-commerce. This is all about taking highly visual physical products, things that solve really tangible everyday problems, and scaling them aggressively using viral social media exposure. Let's zoom in on the software side for just a second, because the math here gets absolutely staggering when you look at how investors value these companies. Let's say your software or AI product is pulling in $20,000 a month in recurring revenue. Because software is just so sticky and incredibly scalable, investors will often value that company at massive multiples. We're talking sometimes 5 to 10 times its annual revenue. To put that into perspective, a $20,000 a month business could easily be valued in the millions. This is exactly how startup founders create extreme paper wealth so fast. They hold equity in a highly scalable machine. But hey, what if you prefer tangible physical products? For those of you taking the e-commerce route, the fastest path to wealth is finding products that solve an immediate, highly visual problem. We're seeing categories like fitness, home gadgets, beauty, and pet products absolutely thrive here. Thanks to the crazy organic reach on platforms like TikTok or YouTube Shorts, completely unknown brands can literally rocket from 0 to 7 figures in cash flow in an incredibly short window. The catch? Your product genuinely has to wow people on camera. All right, Section 4, Scaling and Investing. For our next blueprints, we're exploring how existing capital can violently accelerate your wealth. Blueprint 5 is the venture-backed startup route. Now, these are built for extreme, unicorn-level scale, but let's be real, they carry a massive failure rate. It is the definition of high risk, high reward. But contrast that sharply with Blueprint 7, acquiring an existing business. Instead of spending months or years trying to find product market fit, really savvy entrepreneurs just buy a functioning, quote-unquote, boring business. Think like a laundromat or an HVAC company. It already has paying customers, it already has immediate revenue. It's a remarkably lower risk path to fast wealth. Then there's Blueprint 6, which involves strategic investing across traditional vehicles like stocks, real estate, or private equity. Now, while investing is definitely the ultimate proven wealth multiplier over decades, we need a serious reality check regarding our 5-month timeline here. This route requires substantial existing capital if you want to see big dollar returns quickly, and it offers absolutely zero guarantees. Honestly, any online guru promising you guaranteed millions in 5 months just from trading crypto or stocks, you should view that with extreme skepticism. Finally, Section 5, the combination strategy. Okay, here is the absolute climax of this explainer. What if you combine these blueprints? Let's look at the ultimate masterclass strategy for maximum impact. Step 1, you go out and learn an incredibly valuable, high-income skill. Step 2, you launch a B2B service business using that exact skill, generating immediate life-sustaining cash flow. Step 3, as you're building that business, you document your daily journey and your struggles online to build a dedicated audience. And finally, Step 4, you listen to exactly what your audience needs and you productize your service into a scalable software or digital product. Boom, you have just stacked your leverage perfectly. This precise combination works so incredibly well because it perfectly balances the 4 vital ingredients of modern wealth. First, you've got cash flow from your service to actually fund your operations. Second, you have audience growth, which gives you massive free marketing leverage. Third, there's business ownership, meaning you're building actual, sellable equity. And finally, you have scalability through your product for that explosive hockey stick growth. When you get these 4 elements working together, they form the exact engine behind almost every modern millionaire success story. Ultimately, guys, the most important takeaway from this entire explainer isn't some specific hidden tactic or sneaky social media algorithm hack. It's a philosophy. Millionaires focus on creating value at scale. They aren't sitting around obsessing over how to get rich quick. They're obsessing over how to solve really painful, real-world problems for a very large number of people. The money you make, it's simply a natural byproduct of the incredible value you inject into the market. So we've walked through the 7 blueprints together, from high-ticket services and scalable software to viral e-commerce, content creation, fast-growing startups, strategic investing, and even business acquisitions. Now I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. If you only had 5 months to completely overhaul your financial trajectory, which of these blueprints would you commit to today? Really think deeply about your skills, choose your path, and start planning your next move.